This is pretty amazing, this report from Next News, Colorado. You know, it had never occurred to me that there was the implications of this, like, honestly, there's like a mind virus that is running through the conservative movement, and it's been going for years and years. Let's be honest, but the pace, the depth of it, it's fascinating. This is a story in Colorado of a town that is a Republican, apparently like a blood red Republican town. And there is a school board. And of course, where you get school boards, you get CRT, because everybody knows that Soros has infused all schools with CRT. Doesn't matter what it is.
To undermine the white race.
Well, we don't even have to be specific.
Okay, sorry.
It's the letters, CRT.
Oof.
They exist. They're there. We all know it. And here is like a Republican board that essentially announces their resignation en masse because their Republican voters are convinced that they're hiding the existence of CRT.
In Colorado are the next target for Republicans who acknowledge they can't win much of anything else here. It's playing out in an odd way on a school board on the outskirts of the metro area. In Elizabeth, Republicans are accusing each other of secretly supporting critical race theory, which is not actually taught in Elizabeth schools. Our Steve Steger explains why 3 members of the school board, the majority, are quitting rather than having to deal with this anymore.
CRT, a drag queen fundraiser.
It's been a slow and steady drumbeat at Elizabeth school board meetings for weeks.
We've been awakened. I have seen assignments given in classrooms in Elizabeth School District which were pushing racial division.
Deep in the heart of conservative Colorado,
The whole work agenda is coming fast to this community.
right-wing conspiracy theories about curriculum are flooding public comment sessions.
It is coming.
School leaders here insist it isn't coming.
But the work we are doing is being hampered by claims of CRT and LGBTQ agendas in our schools. This has to stop.
That's the principal of Elizabeth High School, Brett McClendon, at a meeting last month, aiming his frustration at 2 school board members he accuses of spreading rumors.
Director Olson and Director Booth, please stop chasing ghosts. We are not teaching critical race theory at Elizabeth High School.
Director Rhonda Olson insists
Likely
she
story.
isn't driving the claims.
You have never heard me say that we have critical race theory in our high school or any of our schools.
She and Director Heather Booth say they're just sounding alarms.
We need to put safeguards in place to make sure it doesn't come here.
But it's put their board colleagues in an awkward position.
I am a conservative.
That's the board president, Carrie Karsher.
I'm upset about it too. I don't want it to come into the district, but I don't want this conversation to happen week after week after week.
He submitted a resignation letter this week, along with his vice president, Kim Frumveller. She wrote her days are consumed with constant issues and lies, and the lies never seem to stop. Treasurer Craig Blackham says his daily personal attacks and emails start at 6 a.m. They're taking a toll on him. All 3 will make their resignation official on Monday.
So what? We don't need any more of that. I mean, that's.
Whoops.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
When you create a complete boogeyman that's amorphous and a smoke monster that could be anywhere, then it turns on. You turn on your own because it could be with those.
My favorite guy was the guy who looks like somebody's grandfather. Is like who's seen all these assignments that stoke racial division. My guess is you haven't seen a school assignment in quite some time.
Also, the board president who's like, I'm happy to be hysterical about this.
Yes.
Like, can we
No
calm
one
down?
is more racist or anti-trans than me, but we need to like vote on other things.
I'm super on board with this, but we also need to like vote on staffing if there's a staffing shortage for a field trip or something.
6 a.m. I gotta get up. I do my exercise, then I send an accusatory letter to one of the school committee members saying that they're secretly in favor of CRT.
He's very regimented about it. Takes it with his morning vitamins. a CRT accusation.
That's amazing to me. And the thing is, it's going to be interesting, like on some level, right? We're seeing this play out with the Trump DeSantis thing. Mm-hmm. Who was more, pro-COVID lockdown, whatever it is? Who's more woke? It has no choice but to eat itself in the final analysis.
We're seeing it with the Republican Party.
Yep.
We're seeing the change in 10 years from the Republican Party. I mean, look, they were still advocating for the same garbage, but in terms of like the Marjorie Taylor Greenes taking over the party, that's the machine working. It's pumping out the very people that they've activated on these local levels, which is what they try to do.
I'm almost convinced that somewhere there is in a room some Republican sitting around going like, this is out of control. We need to come up with a new boogeyman to distract people from the old boogeyman. Maybe it's like, can't we go back? Can we circle back and do the Muslim thing again? Yeah. I mean, can we do that? We need to mix it up. We need to mix it up. We need to it's just getting too far down the CRT road. Okay, surely we can.
Well, they're doing it now with trans people. They're just they have some more hate in them.
Yeah, they're trying to transition in themselves from CRT to trans. This is a funny moment that I think you're going to enjoy. I wonder if they regret putting anybody who's not on the team on Fox. It just the idea right now, incidentally, a judge ruled that the defamation case, $1.6 billion case, can go forward. This is going forward. Fox is going to have to address this. The real question is going to be how far up the chain does the liability go? And that's really going to be the question, I think, with this case. And the jury, incidentally, plaintiff can ask for $1.6 billion, but the jury can go well, we're going to make it 2 or 3. So they're freaking out over at Fox News. And this was a sort of wonderful example of, this almost reminds me they're all saying it's wrong to get COVID shots. It's wrong to stay at home. Meanwhile, we're on separate camera feeds and we're all doing our show from home. Here is the 5, and Pete Hegseth. This is the guy who doesn't believe in washing his hands, right? Because he wants to build immunity to whatever.
Filling in for, I guess, Jesse Waters, the guy who took out the air of his intern's tires. He could have a romantic advance on
Intern
her.
Wife.
Oh, now wife, yeah.
And here he is really railing against colleges. It's a real waste, of course. But what he's really saying, it's a waste for you. And I don't mean that figuratively. He means it literally. Listen to this.
A report by Georgetown University found that 16% of high school grads earn more than half of people with bachelor degrees. Why waste $200,000 then?
You shouldn't. Charlie Kirk wrote a book called College is a Scam. Yep. He's right. It's an educational cartel that's extorting students and taxpayers and raising their prices every single year. The government helps them do that. They've got endowments well beyond what they need to charge. And in the process, you get to send your kid to them and they indoctrinate them. So you spend years.
Pause it for 1 second. We should be clear here. Colleges are too expensive. He should be advocating for a free, at the very least, a free option in every state, which is going to drive the price. It's going to create price pressure down on a lot of these the universities, because if you got a free option for a high quality education, a lot of people are going to choose it. That's not where he's going with this. It's basically just it's a Christian conservative lament, but it gets a little bit more complicated for him.
They've got endowments well beyond what they need to charge. And in the process, you get to send your kid to them and they indoctrinate them. So you spend years forming and molding them into a person that works hard and believes in God and loves this country. And then you send them off to socialist camp and you get a Bernie Sanders supporter. Just stop. Stop sending them. Stop paying for it. Stop sending money to your alma mater. I have a new rule. The more elite the university and advanced that a graduate is, the dumber they are. the less likely I am to trust them. If you went to the Ivy League, prove to me that you have any common sense at all.
You went Ivy League, right?
Yes, and I sent one of my degrees back
I'm
for a reason.
For you.
Because it's we should stop supporting this cartel, stop giving our money to them, and find real causes, like K through 12 classical Christian schools or places that actually form minds as opposed to indoctrinate them.
Pause it. Actually form minds instead of as opposed to indoctrinate. Pete Hegseth, Bachelor of Arts at Princeton University.
Ooh.
There's really like no more like elite Ivy League. And then in 2013, he received a master's of public policy from the JFK School of Government at Harvard.
Oh, so
University.
he went back to the Ivy League 10 years after.
A little school outside of Boston, huh?
Yeah.
No, there's two things that's amazing about this. One, his inability to articulate the higher education prove to me that you're not an idiot. You went and if you like you Ivy League, like convince me you're not a freaking moron.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Pete. Your time starts now. Let's go.
So
you need to send your kids to a religious school where they never indoctrinate kids.
That's what they're known for not doing, not indoctrinating those religious schools. Do you think that they just want to gatekeep regular people out of these institutions and they pretend that they're indoctrination factories so they could just be expensive schools that funnel the wealthy into the most high power jobs?
100%.
Yeah, I think so.
This is all just about, listen, higher education is for wealthy elite people.
Yeah.
We will let some other people come in a little bit to justify things. But in the main, you're all going to be service workers for us.
Right, exactly.
Some of you may make a lot of money. Like if you become a plumber or electrician, you start your own business, you can make a lot of money. At the end of the day, you're going to service us. You're getting uppity, everybody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Enough.
And if you are going to go to a college, don't come to our elite ones. Go to the ones that will indoctrinate you, the Christian colleges, right? Not the public ones either, because we're trying to undermine public colleges as an institution.
I like how he sent his degree back too.
Oh yes, and I'm sure it was the master's, not his BA.
But either way, so
yeah,
you don't have the piece of paper anymore. Like what?
Did they rescind it?
Do you take it off of your resume? That's I mean, do you keep it off your resume?
It's the equivalent of like him getting some bill in the mail and ripping it up and like I don't know money anymore, right?
It's even
Never went to college.
It's just like so like who cares? You sent your I sent my degree back. So I showed them.
And just
and it screwed up the mail system at their
they were
institution.
Like, why am I getting this back?
Ground to a halt. What are we going to do with this? Everybody, we need a faculty meeting. We've got to figure out what to do with Pete Hegseth's degree. Everybody freeze what you're doing, and we got to figure this out.
He sent it back for some reason?
Yeah, so
like it's returnable?
Is Ted Cruz going to send back his degree to Princeton? Is Ron DeSantis going to send back his degree from Yale? Donald Trump going to send back his degree from Penn? I mean, all of these guys went to freaking Ivy League schools. All of them went there.